Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. Into Hume Netball we go, where Aimee Riley joins me on the line to talk about the latest results and the fixtures over the weekend. Lovely to be back with you again, Aimee. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks, Alice. It's always a pleasure.
It is indeed from our end, and good to be with you again. Let's talk about last weekend, Culcairn and Holbrook. Holbrook getting the win here easily enough, but we know Culcairn are sort of in that transition phase where they're making steps forward and then they're being pinned back for a week or two, and then I'm sure we'll see them make some forward steps again, but it wasn't to be on the weekend. Holbrook too good.
Certainly. Holbrook really wanted to use this game to be able to put out a strong four-quarter effort, and they definitely delivered on that. The rain held off for half the game, and Holbrook played a really fast game in that time, and then they adjusted and slowed down as the rain settled in. It was always going to be a really tough challenge for Culcairn, who are working so hard on their ability to compete and focusing on their transition from defence into attack. Culcairn's best on were Ella Travascus, Ella Stevens and Zara Honeywell, and Holbrook's were Ness Taylor and Maddie Black.
Jindera still very much the unassailable side that people will struggle to find a way to negate. That is for sure. They were too good again for Lockhart, who came with both fists swinging on the weekend, but it wasn't enough. Jindera 55, Lockhart 27, the final score. I'm sure it was still a pretty good effort from the home side, though.
It certainly was. It was a really hard-fought 60-minute game from both sides, and I don't think the score reflects how intense it was. Jindera utilised rolling subs really well, and they rotated their defenders into goals again and utilised a full suite of positional changes. They're really looking to make a lot of those changes as they could. Lockhart's determination and discipline really showed through, and they maintained constant pressure across the court throughout the whole game. They had excellent passages of play, but they unfortunately couldn't put them all together at once, and ultimately they just weren't able to break through Jindera's height. Lockhart's best on were Sarah Anderson and Tegan Hannon, and Jindera was Sarah Krause and Paige Harper.
Big win for the Billabong Crows over the Brocklesby Burrumbuttock Saints, 73-35, the final result there. That's a big win for the Crows there, Aimee.
Absolutely. The first quarter of the game was actually quite even. It was 10-13, and coming into the second quarter, Crows really pulled away. Saints, I know they were a little bit disappointed with the margin, and they'll certainly take their ability to hold their own in the first quarter as a positive sign for when they build that consistency for a four-quarter effort. It was a solid win for the Crows, with pressure throughout the defence and offence, creating some really nice opportunities for them to convert. Billabong Crows best on were Lauren Packer and Isabel Bush, and BB Saints was Lane Graparis.
Henty back to winning ways, 54-17 over CDHBU. Good result for the home side.
Rain again was a contributing factor in this game, making it tricky for both teams. It was a bit of a theme for the weekend. Henty will be really stoked to be back on the winners list and pleased with a consistent four-quarter effort across every position. Both teams were absolutely firing, and CDHBU certainly gave it a red-hot crack in a tough, contested game. Henty's best on were Liv Hall and Chelsea Wetton, and CDHBU Grace Gillard and Julia Tennant.
We also had the Murray Magpies up against Osborne. It was always going to be a really hard task for the Magpies, but they did pretty well, really, losing by just over 30 points or so, 32-67, the final result in Urana. Certainly a hard game, and they did pretty well to, post the score that they did, Aimee.
Absolutely agree. It was a tough round for Magpies, both in wet weather and also facing the formidable Osborne. Additionally, Magpies also had 7 players this week, and whilst everyone did their job, they unfortunately weren't able to come away with the win. But as you said, that sort of scoreline, 7 players, it's a solid effort. Osborne controlled the game from the start, and they made the most of the wayward balls that came their way and just converted every opportunity to ultimately run away with the game, but certainly taking nothing away from Magpies' effort or from Osborne's dominance. Murray Magpies best on Lauren Francis and Alicia Schubert, and Osborne's were Sophie Edmonds and Claire Gooden.
Looking at the final result from the weekend, the Giants getting a bit of a pacing at home to Howlong, 43-19. Good win on the road for Howlong.
Giants started really strongly in the wet, and Howlong weren't far behind, and they took momentum after the Giants missed a few key opportunities to convert late in the first and early in the second quarter, and just took off from there. It was a wet and windy day, which Howlong will be really pleased to get a solid win in. Giants undoubtedly will be disappointed as they're looking to try and make it into the finals, particularly as Brianna Higgins, who's their captain, also sustained an Achilles injury early in the second quarter, and that deeply affected their defensive effort. Nevertheless, I know they'll regroup and look to bounce back, and Howlong will be really pleased with that win. Giants' best on was Vivian Vainisi, and Howlong, Kirby McDonald and Abby Lish.
And remind us how that ladder's now looking after 11 rounds, Aimee.
Certainly. So Jindera's on top, followed closely by Osborne, Howlong and Holbrook, and that rounds out your top four. There is a game separating each of them, and then Henty is sitting in fifth, tied on points and separated by percentage to Holbrook. Coming in at sixth is Lockhart on 24. Billabong Crows on 20, Giants on 20 is seventh and eighth. Ninth is Magpies, 10th Colcan, 11th Baby Saints, and 12th HBU.
There we have it. All right, moving into the fixtures for round 12 this weekend. Howlong, Osborne, that's going to be some fireworks there. Osborne won't have it easy away to Howlong.
Certainly, and now that we've actually made it through an entire round of games playing each other, I thought it would be good to be able to go back and revisit these games as well. So last time Howlong and Osborne played each other, Osborne won 56 to Howlong 49, so we expect that to be an absolute bumper game again. Howlong have significantly improved. They had a couple changes to their team and they're certainly playing some excellent netball. And Osborne have had a few new girls in and they would have been finding their feet and they've really settled as well. So my expectation is that Osborne may take this one out, but I think it will be a fantastic game.
We can expect, but it's certainly no certainty at all, is it? Colcan at home to the Giants. Both sides will be looking to bounce back there. What do you think we might get as in terms of the final result?
So previously Giants won this 56, Colcan 17. I certainly think Colcan have significantly improved in that time. As we've spoken about, they had a brand new side, so this is the first time they'd ever played together. Giants unfortunately have lost a couple of girls to injury, as we mentioned earlier, so I do expect it to be a bit closer, but Giants still to come out on top.
There we have it. Moving into Holbrook and Jindera. Another game where we might see one of the heavy hitters struggle, or not so much struggle, but at least have a challenge put on them. How do you expect that one to go? Again, won't be easy for Jindera.
No, it definitely will not be. Holbrook are a very tall, drilled, fit, disciplined side, and this will be a tough battle both ways. Last time they met, Jindera was 42 and Holbrook was 31. This will be an excellent game to watch, and with the next couple of weeks, we've got some fantastic games coming up with top of the table clashes again. So I do expect that Jindera will win this, but I'm tipping very, very close.
Henty should be too good away to the Murray Magpies, but you never know.
Yes. So again, Henty 63 to Magpies 27 last time. Magpies have really settled as a team, as we've seen with their score last week. They're playing some fantastic netball. I do think that Henty will take this one out, but again, expect it to be a lot closer.
And we might get two really close games between the Billabong Crows and Lockhart. That's certainly one that you would expect Billabong Crows to match Lockhart for as long as they're able to.
Yes, certainly. So Lockhart 46 to Billabong Crows 28 last time, and both of these teams have come a long way since then as well. As you mentioned, I expect them both to match it really well, and honestly don't know which way it's going to go. Maybe Lockhart have the slight edge.
CDHBU versus Brocklesby Burrumbuttock Saints, two sides again that'll be looking forward to hopefully righting the wrongs from last weekend's games. How do you see it going?
Yeah, certainly. So BB Saints 52 to CDHBU 22 last time. CDHBU, again, one of the new teams, have really improved from their first game together. And BB Saints have been working really hard on some key focal points in their game as well. My tip is Saints, although I would love to see CDHBU get their first win of the year at some point before the end of the season. I do expect this again to be a little bit closer, but I think Saints will win.
Aimee Riley, great doing business with you and good to touch base again. Enjoy the netball on the weekend and all the very best.
Thanks so much, Alice.